What's up, guys? Joe McCall, REI In Your Car. On this podcast episode, I am going to teach you the top 10 lessons learned that my most successful clients learned, and mistakes and why they're successful, things that you can do to emulate and copy their success and avoid some of the mistakes that they made. Would you be interested in knowing about that? Well, you should, because sometimes the fastest way to success is to model what works and find out, okay, what's working today? What's working today for not the guru, not the guy who is out there selling his stuff or teaching or doing the podcast, right? Whatever. But what if you could learn what is actually working from the people in the trenches that are where you are? They're just getting started. They're wanting to learn how to do deals. You're wanting to start making money, et cetera, et cetera. So wouldn't it be cool to learn from them? What's actually working now? Well, I'm going to do that right now with you guys. Over the years, I've been doing my podcasts now for 15 years, over several thousand episodes, probably close to 3,000 episodes. And I have interviewed a lot of people. And over the last year, I've been interviewing some of my most successful clients, members in the Dirt Flippers community, and they, from different things, programs or things that they've bought. I have a lot of free stuff on YouTube and podcast. I have a $5,000 program. I have a $25,000 program, and soon I'm going to have a $100,000 program because I love working with folks one-on-one, and I believe 100% in whatever I charge, the value that they're getting is 10 times as great. So if I'm selling something for $5,000, if they implement it, I know they'll make at least $50,000. If I'm selling something that's $225,000, I know without a doubt they're going to make $250,000 from that within a year. And if I'm selling something now at $100,000, you better believe that I'm 100% confident I can deliver the results that they'll make at least $1 million in 1 year. And I can say that because I've done that. I've been there and done that. So anyway, regardless, I took some of my favorite interviews with some of my most successful clients, and I've transcribed them all and I've uploaded them to AI. And I've asked AI, hey, what are the top lessons learned straight from these clients of mine? What are some of the things that they've walked away with? So I'm going to share that with you right now. Number one, most important, stay consistent. Consistency is absolutely incredible and incredibly important. Especially when it's slow at first, and it will be slow at first, no matter what you're doing. When you're doing something new, you're hungry, man. You want go. You want results fast. But if you quit too early, you're going to fail miserably every time. So consistency is so important, especially at first, because it's slow. So every successful client of mine, everybody in my community that has done deals has said the same thing. It takes time, right? Marketing is a pipeline. It's a pipeline where your first 30, 60, 90 days might feel quiet, but if you consistently do the basic, simple things, I've talked about that before, being brilliant at the basics. You do the mail, you talk to sellers, you make the offers, you do the follow-up. That equals deals. Mail plus offers plus follow-up equals deals. Big if you stay the course, if you don't quit and give up. All right, so number one, consistency. Consistency beats perfection every time because it takes time to build that momentum, and every single buddy that has ever done a deal will tell you the same thing, or anybody that has done lots of deals, because some people, they may just get lucky and do a deal within a week or 2 weeks, right? Most people, though, it takes consistent effort to build that momentum. I've often said there's 3 M's to success: marketing, momentum, and getting a mentor. So you've got to do the marketing, but you've got to be consistent with that marketing so that momentum has a chance to build. I've got story after story I can tell you of my own journey of doing that, but I got to move on. Number 2, don't overcomplicate the system. Whether it's my system or you're signing up for another coach or another program, everybody has anything good has a system. I mean, I would even say some of the worst courses that I bought in the past, and I bought lots of courses. I probably spent well over $1 million over the last 15 years on coaching and education and programs and stuff like that. I mean, I just went to a 2-day event. I spent $25,000 just to go to this one place for 2 days. But every single program that you buy, even if it's a crappy one, has a system. Don't overcomplicate it. Just do what they say to do. I remember the first main coaching program I got, it was $13,000. It just happened to be $13,000 because that's all I had in available credit on my 2 or 3 credit cards. And it was not a good program. They sent me a ton of books and manuals, And I did have coaching weekly calls for about, I don't remember, 3 or 4 months, but it was okay. But guess what? They had a system. And guess who did not implement it? This guy. And after the 6 months of the coaching program was over, guess who had nothing to show for it? This guy. This was my fault. I kept on overcomplicating the system and I didn't do what they said to do. So really, bottom line, this is it. This business works because it's simple. My good friend Rob Swanson, who owns Freedom Soft, basically rebuilt Freedom Soft from the ground up. It's an amazing software. I love it. He created this thing called Simple System Scale. And if it's simple, anybody can do it. And if you build a system around something that's simple, anybody can do it. All right? And then when you scale, you only scale the simple systems. If you try to scale a complicated system, or if you try to scale something that's simple without a system around it, does that make sense? You got to have those three things in that order. It's got to be simple. You need to build a system around that. And only then can you scale it. Because this business works because it is actually simple. And everybody that has any success is like, at the beginning, man, I was kind of freaked out. I didn't understand all of the stuff. I thought it was going to be complicated. But it works because it's simple. And when you stop complicating it and you're consistent with those simple, basic things, you're going to do well. So the ones who win, listen to this. They don't reinvent the wheel. They just do what works. And they do it over and over again. And they're consistent with it. So keep it simple, stupid. You've heard of that? All right, number one, stay consistent even when it's slow at first. Consistency beats perfection every single time. Number two, don't overcomplicate the system. Keep it simple. The ones who win don't reinvent the wheel. They just follow the steps. If you like this podcast, if you like these YouTube videos, please subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up, give me a like and all of that good stuff. I'd appreciate it. Okay, number three, super important. Follow up like your business and your life depend on it. People get started. This is one of the biggest reasons why people don't succeed in this business. They do the marketing, they talk to sellers, they make offers, and then that's it. They never follow up. But you don't realize that 80 to 90% of your deals are going to come from the follow-up. That first conversation, that first offer with the seller, 9 times out of 10 is they're going to say no. And if you are not following up, you're killing your business. So many deals come after the second, third, or fourth, even sixth follow-up. And do not ever give up on the first no. Or if they ignore you, always follow up. I mean, the rules are simple. I've talked about this a million times. And everybody who has taken my advice is killing it right now, is doing a lot of deals. Number one, always be marketing. Number two, talk to every seller that calls in. Talk to 5 sellers a day. Number three, send an offer to every seller that you talk to. And number four, follow up every 30 days with every seller that you talk to, that every seller you sent an offer to. So important, but nobody does it. And the ones that do are the ones that do all the deals. So if you're wondering, why am I broke? Why am I having a hard time? Why am I not doing deals? I'm going to ask you 2 questions. How many offers have you made in the last week? And how much follow-up have you done in the last 30 days? That's all that matters, okay? Number 4, especially for land investing, this is really important. Pick one market and learn it well. Dive deep. Don't try to be an inch wide and a mile deep. I want you to be an inch wide and a mile deep. Now, I'm not talking about one zip code or one county, but I want you to focus on one maybe region. So many people try to go, especially with land investing, go into 4 different states and 1 county in each state, and they're just scattered too thin. You know the saying, when you chase 2 rabbits, you catch none? Some of my best clients, they focus on one region, they became an expert in that region, and they will win more often when they do that. So pick one area and go well and deep into it. You know why this is important? Because you're going to learn the market. You're going to learn what sells, what doesn't sell. You're going to learn, well, this type of property doesn't sell, this kind of does. You're going to get good realtors. You're going to get good title companies. You're going to get good lenders. You're going to get good buyers. And you're going to be able to sell your deals a lot faster. And other people who find deals in those areas are going to come to you and partner with you on those deals. All right, number 5, for land investing, especially Again, most of these students and clients that I interviewed were people that were successfully doing land deals. Number 5, use realtors and use title companies to do the heavy lifting. Do not try to do everything yourself. The right realtor, the right title team will help you scale faster and free up your time. And I would say, take this one step even further. Find somebody to JV with on your deals. I don't think I've ever done a deal, at least it's been over 10 years, where I did everything myself from beginning to end. I've always partnered with people. Maybe it's a private investor, maybe it's another buyer, I'm always looking for somebody that I have limited bandwidth, right? I've got several businesses. I'm doing a lot of things. You're busy too, right? When you try to do everything yourself, you might want 100% of a grape, but you don't realize that 50% of a watermelon is more than 100% of a grape. I remember one time somebody called me with a motivated seller that had a house in Houston, Texas. And the seller was like, listen, I don't have enough equity. And I remember at the time, there's maybe only $10 or $15,000 equity in the house, but their mortgage payment was so low and the rent was so high, it would easily cash flow about $500 a month. And the seller even told us, they said, listen, just take over my mortgage, right? I know you can't pay cash for it. Just take over my mortgage. And you can, they even said, you can take over the mortgage for the rest of the mortgage. Like there's 20 years left or whatever. And they knew how the game was played. It probably was an investor. I don't know. But you know what I did? First thing I did is I went to Craigslist. At the time, this was before Facebook Marketplace. I went to Craigslist and I did a search for, in Houston, owner financing and lease options. I looked for those two keywords, owner financing, lease option. And I went and I found a creative real estate investor that was already doing deals. And I called them up and I said, hey, listen, the first guy I called, listen, I've got this. My name's Joe. I'm an investor in St. Louis. I have this potential lead in this certain area in Houston, and it's definitely a sub 2, and I'm going to need to sell it on owner financing or wraparound or something like that, contract for deed, lease option, whatever. And there's issues in Texas with lease options, whatever. So I said, have you ever done that before? He said, yeah, I do them all the time. How'd you find me? I said, well, I found one of the listings for your properties that you were advertising as owner financing. He says, oh, cool. So anyway, what I said to him is I said, would you like to partner and JV on this deal? Short story long, it did not work out, but I learned something really incredibly valuable with that. When you go find somebody that's already doing deals in whatever market and area that you're in, you will shortcut your path to success. Because that guy, the reason why it didn't work out is the seller, for some reason, flaked out. But it was awesome because that investor, when I was talking to him, he was super excited. And I said, hey, do you want to just JV on this deal and we'll split everything 50-50? You do the work, you find the buyer, et cetera, et cetera. And he was totally excited about that. That deal didn't work out, but I learned something valuable from that where I said, all right, I'm going to find somebody that already has the contracts and the paperwork, the title company, the escrow agents that know how to do those kinds of creative deals. So fast forward a few years, I wanted to go travel around the world with my wife and our 4 kids. And this is something that I was part of a coaching program called Life in Air. And it's all about creating a vision for your life and then building a business around that, right? Most of us have it backwards. We have our business, our work, and life kind of goes around that. Let's reverse it. Let's create a vision for our life and then design a business. So I wanted to go travel around the world with my wife and our 4 kids, but I was too busy doing my business. At the time, we were doing a lot of regular cash deals, wholesaling deals. And so I wrote down all of the steps on how to do a deal, and specifically how to wholesale a house. And I asked myself a real simple question. How can we do none of this? How can I get somebody else to do all of this for me? And it was a really simple process at that moment. I said, all right, well, I can have this direct mail company do my direct mail. I can hire a VA to take the calls. I can hire another assistant to do VA to do the comps and whatever, and manage the CRM. I was using Podio at the time. And then who am I going to find to help me sell the deals? And I thought, well, why don't I know a bunch of wholesalers that are already doing deals. They already have the money. They already have the title companies. They have relationships with the buyers. And so I started calling some local wholesalers that I knew were doing a bunch of deals. And I said, hey, listen, what if I want to go travel? I'm going to be gone for the next 3 months. What if I did all the marketing? I had my team. I paid for the marketing. I had my team pre-screen the leads and give you pre-screened leads. Would you work them, get them under contract, sell them, and we split the deal 50-50? You know what every single one of them said? Heck yeah. Are you kidding me? You're going to bring me leads on a golden platter, silver platter? I'll do that all day long. So fast forward a few months, I'm traveling. I'm doing deals in about 4 different cities, about 2 to 3 deals a month in 4 different cities by finding wholesalers and partnering with them. So my whole point is use other companies, use other investors that are already doing the stuff and help and have them do the heavy lifting for you. Use realtors. Why are investors so afraid of realtors? I don't know. But my most successful clients and investors in the Dirt Flippers community are finding other people to help them with stuff. All right. Number 6, you ready? Number 1 was stay consistent. Number 2 is don't overcomplicate the system. Number 3, follow up like your life depends on it. Number 4, pick one market and learn it well. Number 5, use realtors and title companies and other investors to do the heavy lifting and partnering with you. All right. Number 6, you do not need a big budget to start. Really important. A lot of my clients, they either have the money or they don't want to spend the money because they're starting slow. And a lot of them are doing deals just spending maybe $500 a month on marketing, maybe on a virtual assistant, on a CRM. FreedomSoft is about $197 to $297 a month. So you don't need a huge budget. In fact, you can get real creative on doing this. My coaching business partner, Gavin, he had like $7,500, okay? And he spent $7,000 on coaching, and he spent $500 on direct mail and had a great knowledge base, right? But had no leads. He wasted all of that money on direct mail. And his coach, who was a friend of mine at the time, said to him, hey, you just need to get creative. You need to go to the local real estate clubs. You're good on the phone, and just tell everybody, hey, if you've got old leads, I'll work your old leads and we can JV on the deals. And so he did that. He said, I'm good on the phone if any of you have old leads, whatever. And so 2 or 3 people came up to him after that meeting, and one lady gave him about 30 dead leads. And when he tells the story, like they were dead. They were like, some of them are a year old, but she said, here, take these leads, and if you can do anything with them, I'll pay you half of my assignment fee. And I think this was in Phoenix, Arizona at the time. Super competitive market. And so he called these 30 leads, and about halfway through, he got a deal. And all he did was say, hey, you probably don't remember us. We talked to you a little while ago. Do you still have a property? Do you want to sell it? And he had no idea what he was doing, but he kind of relied on the other person's experience. Because he had no idea how to estimate repairs. But anyway, within a few weeks, he made about $9,000 doing this. He got creative. He found somebody else who had dead leads, and he called all of the dead leads and started negotiating, got them under contract, and wholesaled them. But he relied on somebody else's experience, similar to the point that I was making up before. So my point is, you don't need a huge budget. Just go find other people that have old leads and call their old leads up. Go to FSBOs. Call realtors who have older vacant land listings or who have houses that need a lot of work that have been on the market over 60 days. And start calling those agents up, talk to them, build relationships with them, and make offers, right? So use your time and the minimal budget that you have wisely and stay consistent, and you will do deals. All right, number 7, stay plugged in to a community. The great thing about Facebook group and now even some school groups, and there's things, Discord. I've gotten into Discord and I have no idea. I'm completely lost. I guess I'm too old for Discord. I don't know. But there are a lot of really good communities out there where you can actually get help when you need it, okay? I have a dirt flippers community, which is amazing. It's awesome. But when things get hard, and they will, staying connected can help you through those hard times, okay? There's a lot of communities. The ones I'm doing, we do coaching calls every single weekday. In my higher end program, I do comping calls every single day. Gavin does accountability calls once a week. But I'm always like, I want to be there because I want to do deals. And when you have a community and a support network, it's going to keep you going when things get hard. So it's important that you plug into the community, get involved, ask questions, offer to help people. And then when you need the help, there will be somebody there to help you with that. Okay. Number 8, you ready? This isn't anything I made up, but this is straight from people's that I was interviewing from what they were saying. Number 8, faith, mindset, and gratitude matter. That's interesting, isn't it? Faith, gratitude, and mindset matter. Many people talked about the emotional roller coaster. And this is true of anybody who starts business. Doubt, fear, stress. You go through the ups and downs. Again, this is why a community is so important. But faith, prayer, and gratitude were a common thread that a lot of people said that got them through the challenging times. And it's going to be challenging. In fact, I would suggest this: never take business advice from somebody who has never failed. There's this thing, and I remember Russell Brunson talking about this. It's so powerful, and he learned it from somebody else. But the best coaches and mentors out there are the ones who have failed and bounced back. Find the ones who have made big mistakes, who have lost it all, and have come back better than ever, because they're the ones who can encourage you and know where you're at. And trust me on this. Everybody who's ever been successful in business and in life has had a lot of failures, but they've bounced back from that, okay? So you have the faith in the system. Find a coach or a mentor who has bounced back and come back, and just listen to their advice, okay? So it's in the mindset. And it's gratitude, it's being grateful. Stop complaining, stop whining, stop being a Debbie Downer, a negative Nelly. Like, stop being a yeah butter and just focus on your mindset. Because this business is 80% mindset, 20% tactical. That's the truth. I wish it wasn't the case, but I wish it was 80% tactical, because tactics are easy to teach, but the mindset is the tricky part of that. Okay. So how do you fix your mind? You just be grateful, be thankful, okay, and pray, right? I'm a big man of faith. I love the Lord. I believe tithing is really important. So great. All right. Number 9, you do not need to be the real estate expert. This stuff of fake it till you make it, hogwash. You don't have to pretend to be somebody you're not. Most people, by the way, too, when they get started, everybody had never done a deal before when they did their first deal. Okay. So most students, when they're getting into land, they have no prior experience doing land. Many of them have no experience doing houses either. And actually, that's a good thing, because they don't have any bad things in their head that they need to relearn. Okay. And obviously, anybody who's ever done a deal has never done a deal before. So don't let your lack of experience be an excuse to hold you back. You do not need to be a real estate expert. You do not need to be a sales expert. Guess what? You just need to be you. You need to be genuine. You need to be yourself, and you're going to be just fine. All right. Final thing, number 10, get help when you need it, but don't wait to start. The time is now. I don't know what day you're listening to this. Maybe it's Wednesday. All right. Ask yourself, what am I going to do Thursday? Don't wait to start. Don't say, well, you know what? I'm going to start next week. No, actually, today's Wednesday. I'm going to start today. Don't wait. And how do you get help? Well, you can hire, like, if you want help for the business, doing the data stuff, the data entry, the managing, the CRM, et cetera, you can hire a VA, virtual assistant. You can partner up with other people. You can use software and tools like FreedomSoft. But don't wait until you feel like you're ready, right? Decide today you're going to start today. And don't wait until you get a good, warm, fuzzy feeling in there, right? The time is now. And this is really important. This is a really important principle. You're going to learn by doing. Learn by doing. The fastest, your speed to income, this is important. And I'm done with this, okay? Your speed to income is directly proportional to your speed of implementation. Write that one down, okay? It's one of my favorite principles in this business. Your speed to income is directly proportional to the speed of implementation. So decide today, but man, it's okay if I don't understand everything. It's okay that I don't understand steps 7 and 8. I'm going to do steps 1 and 2 right now. I'm going to learn by actually doing the stuff, and that's how you can succeed. All right, so I hope that helps. A little long-winded here. I wasn't expecting to go this long. I made this list of 10 things, and I thought I'll just fly through that in 5 minutes. But here we are. This has been a long podcast, and my car is done charging. I need to go. Appreciate you guys. Hey, listen, every single week I do a Flip Dirt Challenge, okay? Flip Dirt Challenge. So if you go to www.flipdirtchallenge.com, join my next 5-day challenge. Right now it's free. We might be charging for it later on, but check it out, because I'm actually going to teach and show, and I'm going to show you by doing how to flip land in my 5-day challenge. Okay. Why vacant land is the best, fastest, simplest, easiest way to get started in real estate and make money fast. And I'm going to show you how to find the right markets, how to find the best sellers, how to make fast offers, how to use AI to make offers. In fact, I'm actually even going to give you one of my software in there that I just created that uses AI to calculate offers and to come up with offers, and how to sell the deals fast. So go to www.flipdirtchallenge.com and check it out. It's free. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you. Bye-bye.